Today on Teuty's track analysis, we have the track of the day for May 17th, Desert Spine by TheChraz. Desert Spine is a full-speed dirt track made primarily from that dirt surface, but you can also find plenty of water sections in the track. It also has a lot of boost blocks, including a turbo boost, reactor boost up, and a reactor boost down. There is a GPS on the track immediately at the start, and the GPS time of a 43.441 is 1.859 seconds faster than the author metal time. There are multiple finishes on the track, and the right side finish is a little bit closer and will save you a minimum of 0.3 of a second. And as for the difficulty of the track, I found it to be a little bit easier than your average track of the day, rating it a 4 out of 10. I also thought the metal times on the track were way easier than your average track of the day as well, with my personal best of a 43.561 coming in 1.7 seconds faster than the author metal time of 45.3. The gold medal time was 49 seconds, the silver 55 seconds, and the bronze 1 minute and 8 seconds. I thought the scenery for the track was fantastic, but the route itself left a little bit to be desired as it was fairly basic, so I would rate Desert Spine a plus. And for today's route analysis, we are using the current world record ghost driven by Wildcard to compare against my personal best, and their time of a 42.338 is 1.233 ahead of my personal best. So before we jump into it, a lot of time today is going to come from just better speed slides. There will be a couple points of emphasis here or there. But again, the large portion of your time that's going to come off today is going to be on how well you can perform those speed slides. Immediately at the start, really just want to take this corner as tightly as possible, and on the way down, avoiding the penalty sand. Coming up is the first gear switch of this section, gearing into gear 2 here, so you got to make sure you try your best to not steer heavily during this. There'll be a lot of gear switches coming up as well. We'll be going through 3, 4, and 5, so we'll go over them briefly when they happen, but for all of those, you will need to try your best to straighten out and not steer. As for this opening water section, really want to go in with less angle as possible. The wider your angle here, the more chance you have of popping out of the water, and this goes for every other water section in the track. Here we can see we switch into gear 3 during this turn. I think if you're in the water, you don't get bad gear switches because basically there's already no grip happening, so you can't essentially lose grip and get a slowdown. So here it doesn't really matter if you are steering or not. Then yet again, coming up here, another gear switch into 4, somewhere as you are going down this hill. Again, you want to make sure you straighten out. We'll also see here the world record get into an angle that they will perform a no slide. They will hold that for a decent distance, and this is the reason why they will pull very far ahead of me here. And finally, the last pause here that's in quick succession with another gear up into gear 5 here. Really, again, trying to straighten out as best as possible. You can see the dashboard even says I'm steering here, so maybe there's some sort of threshold on whether or not you get that bad gear, because I'll get a perfectly fine gear here, even though I was steering. Really nothing to talk about on the next couple of turns. Everything is just taking the best inside line possible, while also speed sliding where possible. But we can see after getting the reactor boost, you actually want to end up on a very far outside line, basically being as close to this right side wall as possible, as this will allow you a better, straighter exit into the next turn. And we can see because I wasn't as wide in that water here, my exit is going to be a little bit sloppier as I'm going to slide out a little bit to the right before I'm able to get that inside line. Then again, just speed sliding as much as possible until the next water section, again entering with as least angle as possible. You also want to steer as little as possible while you're in this water and leave as quickly as possible. After that is just more speed sliding up until the small wall ride part, which you want to enter a little bit higher than center, but going a little bit too high you will get pushed up into the penalty sand, so leave yourself a little bit of room. After the wall ride is going to just be more speed sliding as best as you can. And then for this loop here, make sure you are leaving, around the center or left of center. If you are on the very far right side, it's going to be a tough angle to get into the water smoothly. And really, the final part of the track is right here. Once again, you want to enter the water with as least angle as possible. I enter a little bit sooner than the world record because I go for a little bit more speed slide here into the end. Gives them a little bit tougher angle to get around the corner. So if you are struggling with that, enter the water as early as possible. But then again, while you're in the water here, turning towards the risky finish, you want to steer as little as possible. The harder you steer, the more your chance your car has to slide out, and that can make it also a little bit tougher to turn far enough to the right. Had a lot of requests to add the ratings back to the video, so I went ahead and did that, and I'll keep them in the videos moving forward, since it seems like most of you guys want that. But that is also going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to like the video and subscribe. Check the description for links to my Twitch and Discord, and be sure to check out all the other track analysis videos out on the channel already. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the next one.